Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to complete square for a quadratic expression. Okay, so before I start that, let me give you some of the examples how to get factors for a quadratic expression. So example 1, if you have x squared minus 4x plus 4, how do you get the factors of this one? So the idea is you write two parentheses, write on x, and then another parenthesis, write on x. So you want to get two numbers for this place and that place whose product is positive 4 and the sum is negative 4. So give me two numbers whose product is positive 4 and the sum is negative 4. Yes, so those two numbers are negative 2 and negative 2. So if you add these two negative 2's, you will get negative 4, and if you multiply, you will get positive 4. Okay, so this can be written as x minus 2 squared. So because you have the factor, two same factor, if you multiply, you will get the square of that. Okay, so let me give you one more example of that type. Suppose you have x squared minus 6x. Let me take plus 6x and then plus 9. How about this one? So what are the two factors here? So you do x and then close the parenthesis and then another x and then close the parenthesis. So again, you need two numbers whose sum is positive 6 and the product is positive 9. So what are those two numbers whose sum is positive 6 and the product is positive 9? That should be plus 3 and then plus 3. The sum is plus 6 and the product is positive 9. So this can be written as x plus 3 squared, right? Now let's see these two examples. In both of these examples you have three terms, one quadratic, another has just x, another is a constant, and that is the same in this case too. So what other things you noticed? See, what is the half of this term? So the coefficient of x is negative 4 and half of the negative 4 is negative 2, right? And if you square the negative 2, you will get that. So the third term or the constant term is the square of half of the coefficient of x, right? So in this example, the coefficient of x is 6, positive 6. Half of the positive 6 is 3. So 3 squared is 9. So half of that square is that term. In that case, you don't have to do those two. You don't have to get those two factors here. So what you can do is you can write x, start the parenthesis x, and then just write half of that. So minus 2, and then write on the square. Similarly here for this one, write on x, and half of the coefficient of x is plus 3, and then square. So can you generalize that in this example, example 3? So let's see that. Suppose you have x squared plus 8x plus 16. So does it satisfy that scenario, meaning that the half of the coefficient of x and then you square it, do you get the constant or not? So what is the half of 8? That is 4, and the 4 squared is 16. Yes, that satisfies. So you can write x and then half of the 8 is 4 and then square. Okay, how about this one? Let's take example 4. So if you have x squared minus, okay, say 10x plus, say 25. How about this one? So in this case, you have half of 10 is negative 5, and then square of negative 5 is positive 25. So it satisfies, right? So you can write x, and then half of that is 5, negative 5, and then square. So that's how we complete the square. So let me give you one final example on this. Sometimes you may have only two terms. Okay, example number 5. How would you complete the square for this? Suppose you have x squared and then minus 5x. Okay, there is no constant term. In case there is no constant term, then you can add and subtract the constant term to make that the third term or the constant term is square of the half of the coefficient of x, right? So in this example, in all of these examples, you can see that the constant term is positive. you need a positive constant term. The third term or the constant term must be the positive number. Okay, so here in this case you can write down x squared minus 5x. So what is the half of -5? That is -5 half. Okay, and is there the square of -5 half? No, so you add that. So plus -5 half squared. What is the -5 half squared? You added this term to write in that form, okay, in that square form. Now you added this extra thing. Now you want to subtract that extra thing. So how much is that? So this will be minus -5 half squared. So here for these three terms, let me write down for these three terms what you get. So it will be x minus, because there is minus, or you can write x and then half of the coefficient of x will be -5 half squared. This is for these three terms, is this whole square term, right? And then minus, what is the -5 half squared? 25/4. That's it. So if only two terms are given, then you can add and subtract the square of the half of the coefficient of x, and then you can combine the first three terms as the square, and then subtract, you subtract the thing that is subtracted in the previous step. Okay, thank you guys for watching.